Hello, 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 boys and girls. Hello. I just decided that I was gonna do a review for Arthur the King. That funny was so moving. I didn't get to do it right after I got out of the movie because I met my parents to go watch Arthur the King, and then I drove straight home, and I had like a hour and a half drive to go. So I didn't get to do my review the actual night I watched Arthur the King, but I've been thinking about the movie a lot the past few days. So I figured I would do my review right now. I watched it on Friday and today is Monday. This weekend was pretty busy for me, so I didn't get to do my review this weekend. Um, so sorry this review's coming out a little later than normal, but I am here to review Arthur the King. First of all, I think it was a pretty great adventure movie. Being marketed as like a dog movie, like it was going to follow the dog along, that doesn't really happen. You follow Mark Wahlberg's character a lot more than you follow the dog, but they do act like the dog is an actual character in the movie. So when it does show scenes of the dog, like it does follow him along with a camera and like actually have him meeting up with the team. Like it shows him where he's at compared to where the uh, adventure team is at the time. So like it does still involve the dog at times, but I was expecting it to follow the dog more than it was going to follow along with Mark Wahlberg's character, but that didn't happen. And that's in the same year we got, or not the same year, but the year after we got a movie following three stray dogs voiced by comedians. I was gonna say comedy actors, uh, voiced by comedians. So I guess this is kind of weird. I was expecting to see the dog more, but you don't really see him until about 2/3 of the way into the film. Like that's when he meets up with the team and is in the rest of the movie. Still a great movie. Still a great adventure movie. Um, and it is based on a true story. I'm not sure how true to the story they stuck with the film, but it is based on a true story, and it's about a dog who meets up with an adventure team, or a team of adventure racers. It's like running, kayaking, biking, climbing, like it's just a bunch of things all thrown into one race. So it's about a team, and the team, actually, let me pull up the cast real quick so I'm not forgetting anyone. It's full of great cast members, actually. The only one I didn't know of was the guy who plays Chick. Yeah, the team is led by Michael, who is played by Mark Wahlberg. And then you have the social media influencer Liam, who is played by Simu Liu, aka Song-chi. And then you have the climber, the the girl who is really good at climbing, but she's also find out that she's really good at like pretty much all of it. But she's played by Natalie Emmanuel. She's been in quite a few things. She's been in like the Fast and Furious movies, and I'm pretty sure she's the one that played. Let me check real quick. Yeah, she played in the Maze Runner. So she's been in Maze Runner, Game of Thrones, and the Fast and Furious movies. So she's been in quite a few things. And then the one guy I didn't know was the guy who played Chick, who is Ali Suleiman. Let me see what he's played in. Yeah, none of these look familiar to me. So, yeah, I've never seen him in a movie, but he was a pretty great actor. I liked his enthusiasm, even with a broken leg or broken knee, like a hurt knee that he was running on through the entire adventure race. Well, his character, I should say, his character was running on a broken knee. But yeah, the team itself was full of great actors, actresses. There's a few intense scenes that I wasn't expecting to be in a movie like this, but you know, it has to do with adventure racing, and adventure racing can be quite dangerous. Sleeping in the woods and running. I don't even know how many miles they ended up running, but they had like 5 days where they were. I think they said they slept for like a total of 6 hours or something like that within the 5 days. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, so I know it can be dangerous, but I wasn't expecting that many intense scenes like the drowning scene, the zip line scene, them almost falling off a cliff. Like there's quite a few scenes like that, and the cast did phenomenal. Simu Liu, he was quite annoying at the beginning. Like he was just, that social media influencer that tries to post everything, tries to record everything, which I try and be respectful. That's why I record my reviews in my car after I get done in a movie, or I wait till I'm here at home and record. I don't like to record out in public. But yeah, he was just that annoying social media influencer at the beginning. But then towards about half the film, you start feeling a connection with him and the team, and he starts growing on you. And then we got a appearance by Bear Grylls in the film, which he played himself. That was great. I think that's all I've got to say about the cast. But let's get back on into the actual movie. When I first saw the trailers for the movie, I thought it was going to be like a sappy, emotional dog film, just following a dog. And then he meets Mark Wahlberg, and Mark Wahlberg, ends up taking care of him and taking him home, whatever. But he meets him while on this adventure race. That's not what the movie is. The movie is more focused on the adventure race team, and then they just get stalked by this dog for a few days, and the dog finally lets them know they're there and doesn't actually beg for food, but Mark Wahlberg gives them a few meatballs, and then a few days later, once they know he's been following them, he's like, "Isn't that the dog I fed a few days ago, like several hundred miles back?" And then the dog just ends up being a new teammate for the adventure race. But the movie itself is more focused on the more thrilling and like adventurous type things, kind of reminded me of White Fang. I was trying to think of it. White Fang. That's a. I love wolves. My dad loves wolves. His office was decked out in like uh, wolf themed things, and so yeah, I've always loved wolves. And White Fang is like one of my favorite movies or shows. Actually, I have White Fang. Let me go grab that. So if you've never seen White Fang before, this is White Fang. I've got the first one, which is 8 great adventure episodes, and then there's another one which is has another 9 episodes on it. Um, yeah, it's a great show. I love this series. If you've never seen White Fang, I definitely recommend it. They've got a scene where White Fang's owner jumps off a bridge on a bungee jump or a bungee cord. Like he bungee jumps off the bridge, and that scene actually the zipline scene in Arthur the King reminded me of the bungee jumping scene in White Fang, with just how thrilling and scary the this just the thought of like either a bungee cord or like the zip line cord breaking. Just a scary thought. But yeah, they're both really great, thrilling like movies about dogs. White Fang and Arthur the Great. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, check out White Fang out if you can. I've had these. I don't know. I don't even know when I got these. These came out um 2006 for that one. 2004 for that one. So yeah, there's quite a few of them, but I've owned these two for like 15 something years or something like that. Grew up on watching those. But yeah, let's let's talk about that zipline scene for a little bit. Like when that zipline scene first took off with Shimu Liu going across the zipline. Well, I guess he wasn't the first one, was he? He was the second one, I think, that crossed it. But when Simu Liu jumped on that zip line and went across, I actually leaned over to my mom, who I was watching it with, and asked if she wanted to go do that. You know, have a bike like strapped to you, so you're holding not just yourself, but your bike below you while on a zip line. That just seems scary itself. And then when Natalie's character comes on there, the zip line thing, the cord gets stuck and starts tearing, which is scary to think of while on a zip line. But especially when you have a bike strapped to you as well, like hanging below you. But yeah, that was just a very intense scene. The whole movie was just a roller coaster of emotions, but the end was definitely like full of different types of emotions. I wasn't sure if Arthur was going to survive through the trip and like be able to go home with Mark Wahlberg's character Michael or not, and go see his wife and daughter, and they get a another member of the family with Arthur, or if he was gonna die on the adventure. Just wasn't sure where it was going to take you. What a great film! What a great film! And for it to bring awareness to all these stray dogs, but especially stray dogs in other countries. I didn't realize that it was like that bad. Like I know America's bad with stray dogs, it seems even worse in other countries, especially in countries that like there's not a whole lot of food and stuff for the animals. Like it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. But this movie did kind of bring an awareness of that towards the beginning. Like I was saying, when the camera was following along with Arthur, not Mark Wahlberg's team, but when the camera was following along with Arthur as as him being a stray at the beginning, like it was bringing awareness to how many strays and stuff there were and like the life of a stray. But I was still expecting him to be in the movie more than just bringing him in for the full time, like 2/3 of the way in. Yeah, the intro was good and it brought an awareness to strays, and like it did treat Arthur as a character, like not just a thrown away side story, but it actually treated Arthur as a character. Why did it take 2/3 of the film to bring in Arthur with the team? Like I wanted more Arthur, and I know I've spoiled a little bit with like the zip lines and stuff, but I'm gonna dive into a little bit more spoiler territory right now. So if you want to just skip this, I will have the time codes in the bio, so you can skip to the rating section if you want. But yeah, in 3, 2, 1, spoilers. All right. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into the drowning scene of Arthur. That was such a crazy scene. Like, yeah, there's been some crazy drowning scenes in movies, but to try and drown a dog, that's that's unbelievable, dude. Like, don't don't drown a dog in a movie. Like, I really thought Arthur was gonna drown, but Mark Wahlberg, saved him just in time. But that was a crazy drowning scene. Like, there's been some crazy drowning scenes in movies, but I think that's the craziest. Well, don't drown a dog. Don't just don't do it. Such a crazy scene. Don't ever do that again. Don't try and drown a dog in a movie. I don't like it. I don't like it. Then yeah, the marketing of the movie, like I was expecting there to be more Arthur. I wasn't expecting it to I wasn't expecting it to just follow along with Mark Wahlberg's character, uh, Michael. Yeah, I kept thinking that it was gonna follow more Arthur, not Michael. It never did. Like the trailer kind of acted like Arthur was going to lead the team at one point. Like that the team needed help and that Arthur was going to take over and lead the team so that the team could win. And then that never happened. Like I don't know if I just like somehow theorized that from the trailer. I'm going to have to go watch the trailer again, I guess. But that's what the trailer made me think. And then that never happened. Arthur just followed the team. He never once led the team. He just followed the team and made sure they got there safely. Like yeah, he stopped them from falling off the cliff during that one scene. He never actually led the team like the trailer showed that it was going to. They led us astray in the marketing a few times, but the movie is still really good. And adventure racing does look quite fun. If I could, you know, train and run some like 5Ks, some marathons, and do pretty good with those, someone could probably easily talk me into running an adventure race with them. but I would have to lose some weight and train for some other marathons before I would agree to adventure racing. But this movie did have me wondering if I would ever do an adventure race myself. Like, yeah, it looked thrilling, and there was a few things like the zip line and the the cliff scene of them almost falling off. You know, you just have to be careful out there in the wild. If you know where you're going, and if you have a good team, you know, if I lost weight and did a few 5Ks and could prove to myself that I could do an adventure race, I would think about it. If someone tried to convince me of training and doing it with them, I would think about it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for my discussion of the movie. Still can't believe they tried to drown Arthur though. That's unbelievable. Gonna be getting into my ratings now. So for action, there was some surprising action that I wasn't expecting from the movie with what they showed from the trailer. There was quite a bit of action that I wasn't expecting. So action, I'm gonna give it like a 6. Comedy, I laughed a few times. Did laugh a few times. Still don't like that Mark Wahlberg, which they did blow by this. I didn't speak about it in my discussion, but they did blow by this little tidbit that I heard in the movie of Mark Wahlberg's character taking the money from his wife to be able to do the race because these sponsors didn't give them enough. But they like blew by that fact and didn't really say much other than that. Like they just hid it. They tried to hide it, hide the fact that he took the money from his wife to be able to do the race, which was crazy. But there was still a few laughable scenes with the team or when Michael and Arthur were together. So comedy, I would give like a 5, I would say. Drama, yeah, I like the story. But it wasn't as dramatic as the past few movies I've seen. So drama, I will give it like a 5 as well. And then suspense, suspense. There was quite a bit of suspenseful scenes in this movie. So suspense, I think I will give it like a 7. And then horror, there wasn't any horror in this film, so horror can stay at a 0. I do recommend you guys go watch this movie in theaters if you can. And yeah, that's gonna be it for my review. I hope you guys enjoy, and I've got to get to work now. So I will see you guys later. All right, bye bye.